Hello, friends. Welcome to the SideQuest, where we go a little off the rails. Arlie, would you like to sing your song in a less sad manner?
Welcome to the SideQuest.
I would like it to be known that if you hear dog barking, I made the really not bright idea to bring my dog today, and she also ate roadkill, so I'm really scared she's vomiting and sweet at this house right now.
Ooh, we better make this fast then. Okay. We're going to do...
But I just had to let the listeners know that that's the plight of
woof,
today.
Woof, woof.
No, from downstairs you hear...
She's actually a silent puker, but sometimes she whines as she's puking. She's sad.
I
And then it
understand.
makes me
I cry while I'm puking.
Aww.
You're like, seriously. I'm like,
I just disassociate.
oh, can we start this over? Because that seems crazy.
No, I think it's fine.
All right, here we go. So, this question came from Tickety Tackety.
Oh, we're answering listener questions today.
Yeah.
We're listening to answer your questions.
All right.
Oh, no.
From TikTok. Our house was renovated. Not like DIY, like the pig stripped the house down to the studs and been abandoned for years. But they did just repaint the original exterior doors, though. No removal. So now it's cracked and lifting everywhere. What do we do?
What is cracked and lifted everywhere?
The exterior door.
The paint on the exterior doors.
Ooh.
I would hit it with a heat gun and scrape it to the bare wood and then repaint it.
Well, so you have a couple options depending on what kind of finish you want. So you can just scrape off the loose chunks, prime the door, and paint it again if you're
Prime it with shellac because it's probably a mix of oil and latex.
Yes. Okay. That's option number one. Option number two would be, like Emily said, to put a heat gun on it and like really strip off as much paint as you can, then prime it with shellac-based primer, and then paint it.
It's satisfying. It like bubbles and then you can scrape it.
If you
But
have the
wear a
patience
mask,
and
though.
you want, if the rest of your house is beautiful, which it sounds like is what you're saying, they probably ran out of like juju for doing it. If I can tell you from experience, by the end they were like, just paint them doors. So what you could do, especially if they're beautiful doors, Emily and I did this at a really old house that we renovated. They're like solid oak, then it's worth putting the effort in. And what you'll do is, we'll use the heat gun, scrape as much paint as you can scrape off, and then you'll sand it until it's back down
Unless
to
there's
wood.
like deep grooves, then you can use like dental tools to get the paint out.
So if you want to go to that trouble, and then what I recommend, the product that we use is unbelievable. It's a penetrating sealer. So most finish products like polys or shellacs, they form a hard coating on the surface of your wood, which is awesome for like weatherproofing. What the penetrating sealer does is you literally will lay the door on sawhorses and then you pour it on and you kind of like squeegee or use a paintbrush to move it all around. Then you go away for like 20 minutes. And it literally penetrates almost an inch into the wood. So what it does is that whole top inch of the door is hardened and sealed, and then it still gives you a nice sealed finish also. So it's pretty phenomenal. Those doors turned out
Especially
beautiful.
if they're like chipping at the bottom, like sometimes older doors do.
Yeah,
or-
so it's kind of like the wood hardener you talked about in the last SideQuest that can provide you with some like structural help for a door that's really seen a lot of rain and sunshine. But yeah, that's pretty fantastic. Okay, the next question from the field. We didn't have a specific person for this. I think it was an in-person question someone asked. I'm trying to find a stud to put my handrail in on the stairwell. Quick side note, yes, your handrail should always go in a stud. But my stud finder isn't finding anything for long stretches of wall. Could there actually be long stretches of wall with no studs? And if the stud finder isn't finding anything, how can I check manually?
Oof, girl. Or boy, whoever asked this. I have been through something similarly recently. Do you remember when I called you?
Yeah. You're like, it's not here. It's not here. It's
I know.
not here.
Oh my gosh. Some people do like random things in houses. Sometimes there's like random pieces of wood. And also sometimes you just can't find them for some reason. I have a deep wall scanner that I use, and we've talked about it before on the podcast, as my stud finder, and I have only had once where I could not find the stud, and it was at this house, and I don't know what was wrong with it. But like 10 inches up from where I was finding a stud, there was a stud. So I'm like, okay, then it must be down here too. Nope. There wasn't a stud in like for 30 something inches or whatever. But one of the ways to check manually is, I think you can get like some kind of raw earth magnet or something.
Rare earth magnet.
Rare earth magnet to find
It's
like
the cooked version of the raw one.
Yeah.
It's only slightly cooked though.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it will find either the nails or the screws that are holding your plaster or whatever into your studs. Like the nails or the screws. Did I say that?
It's a super powerful magnet.
Yes. But the other way, if you don't want to go by that, is you just take a drill bit and
A tiny one.
a tiny drill bit.
Like
and
a
you just
1/16.
Yep.
Yeah. And you just keep drilling holes into your wall until you find it. And you'll be able to tell because you'll go through what the drywall is, and then it'll go, like it'll kind of stop. And in where the stud is, you'll keep drilling. It'll keep going, and you'll still feel resistance at the end of your drill bit.
And if you're just drilling into plaster or drywall, you're going to get only white dust coming out of the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get brown dust coming out of the hole, that's another confirmation that you have hit wood.
Yeah. If you have, like, plaster and lath, you're going to have to drill a little bit farther in because, obviously, the lath is going to be brown.
Yes.
And then my other tip is find your nearest light switch or outlet, and if you can, figure out which side the stud is from that wall, and then try to measure. If it's an older house, it might be that you have studs every 24 inches. Like if you have old oak studs, they're probably 24 inches, but they also might be 16 inches on center. So you'd want to take your tape measure from the nearest and then pull it. And then you'll get narrow down the idea of where their stud probably is. And then you'll be able to do your drill thing. And you're probably going to want to go like every half inch probably until you find it. But yeah.
Good luck.
Some people do the knocking method, but I don't know if that actually, how much that actually works, because I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I hear it, but then I'm like, no, I don't. What am I talking about? So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, last question. This one's from Steph. She asked the question on TikTok. She mentioned that she's trying to figure out how to hang things on her concrete walls.
Yikes, girl.
Ooh, I just discovered that. The solution for that
Go
when
for
we
it.
were working at the VFW. So
I know
we
the solution too.
did a month-long project at the VFW National Home for Eaton Rapids. If you don't know what that is, stop right now, pause this, and go Google it because it's pretty feckin'
Unless you're
amazing.
not driving.
Yeah, probably not if you're driving. So go look at what that is. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, we spent several months there, and we renovated a building that has all concrete walls. So interior walls are concrete, exterior walls are concrete, and part of the project was hanging things, including TVs, so you have to do it properly. And I hadn't used these before. I had seen them, but I didn't know what they were for. They're called wall plugs, pretty simple. But it's basically think about most plastic anchors are pretty hollow in the middle, and then they're round, and you make a hole, and you pound them in, and then they kind of spread out as you put the screw in. Well, these are very hard plastic. They have just the tiniest hole in the middle. And basically what you do is you drill a hole that is the same size as the wall plug, and then you pound it in with a hammer. And then what you have is basically the entire hole that you drilled in the concrete is now filled with this plastic. And then the nail just goes into that. You start it in the tiny little hole in the middle of it, and then it just goes in, and honestly, it's better than pretty much every other anchor situation. Like, you have to use the right size. Like, if the hole's too big for it, that doesn't work, but that's the same with any anchor. But it's pretty fantastic, and that's a great way to hang things in concrete walls. Okay, that's 3 questions, ladies. Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
No? All right.
But you should follow us at How to Handyma'am, specifically on Instagram. We're trying to hit 1,000 on there.
Yes, please go to Instagram and follow us. And also, everything you do, like, subscribe, follow, comment, rate, review, all of those things tell whatever platform you're on, hey, we should show this to other people. And that's how people we don't know find this. So if you want to help us, please do that.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah. Mwah.